Hey everybody, how's it going? We're just a couple minutes away from kickoff in Lambeau, and I thought I'd go ahead and throw together a quick last minute game note video, and this is truly going to be a last minute game note video because by the time this video gets up, the ball will probably be getting kicked off. So, first, we had one interesting thing pop up from the inactives list that I wanted to go over. So most of this is as predicted. We have Jacob Eason inactive, Dakota Shepley, Stone Forsyth, Cody Barton, Bless Austin. But, and I wish I had a trumpet here to announce his arrival, but Robert Nkemdiche is the sixth inactive player, meaning, that's right, LJ Collier will be taking the field at some point for the Seahawks today. I don't know how many snaps he's going to get. I don't know if he's going to play a relevant role, but we are getting ourselves the LJ Collier experience today. So obviously, he has basically no goodwill left in this fan base. Obviously, he is somebody who pretty much every Seahawks fan dislikes at this point for multiple reasons. But if LJ Collier wants to go out there and make a couple plays for us on today of all days, then I will be deeply appreciative of it, and maybe I'll even get over some of the other stuff, at least a little bit. It's baby steps, right? So we are getting LJ Collier, no Nkemdiche, which is interesting. It seems to me that Nkemdiche is playing okay, but maybe we're trying to pace him a little bit. But it's a little weird that you would try pacing him right after a bye week. Like he had last week off, more or less. So I don't really understand that. But regardless, no Nkemdiche. Collier will play some. The Packers inactive list is actually kind of interesting because, at the very least, for the moment, they plan on having some Kenny Clark and some Eric Stokes. So both those guys were up in the air as of Friday, but it looks like they're going to try to play. And I don't know how effective they're going to be. I don't know if they're going to be able to play very much, but apparently the Packers think that they're good enough to at least play some of the games. So if you were counting on those guys being absent, then you're going to have to deal with them for at least a little bit. So Kenny Clark, active. Eric Stokes, active. Okay. One more Seahawks note. You may have noticed that Al Woods was not listed as an inactive. That's because it looks like he is going to go. Corbin Smith has this report from pregame. Seahawks getting Al Woods' work as a big base defensive end during warmups. Pete Carroll compares his role right now in the defense to Red Bryant, which lines up. That makes sense. It's good to know that Al Woods is good to go because as much as he's not the best player on this defense, he's a very important part of this defense. So we are going to have Al Woods back. So that is some good news for the Seahawks. I to go a little bit off topic here. I've been very critical of this front office for giving him as much money as they gave him, but he has outplayed that contract. Bottom line. Like, he has played way better than I thought he was going to when we picked him up. I thought that should have been a slam dunk vet min contract, and honestly, I didn't even know if he deserved that because he took last year off, but that guy's been good, and it's good to know he's going to be out there today. He's going to help against the run, and we need all the help we can get in things like stopping the run because that hasn't been coming easy lately. And final thing I want to go over here is some of these early game results because I'm watching the Lions overtime right now over here. And this game obviously doesn't really have any bearing on us, but pretty much all the other early games are a wrap. And we got more positive results. If you scroll through here, the Falcons got killed, which is actually good for us. Again, the Cowboys are almost definitely going to win their division, so the Falcons losing is good. We have a chance to pull into a tie with them if we win today for a wild card spot. And yeah, we just need the Falcons to keep losing. They're one of the teams we want to keep losing. The Saints loss, which is very nice. That's a big deal. We need them. We need them to lose a lot more games if we want to pass them because they own the tiebreaker. But they look like a team that is going to be struggling because of their quarterback issues. So they're a decent bet to lose a lot of games as this season goes on. So unless they can pull a capable quarterback out of thin air, it's looking a little bad for them. And we also got Buccaneers getting upset by Washington, which I don't know if this is going to come into play for us, and it very likely won't, but it's not impossible that Tampa Bay gets involved in a wild card chase. Of course, that would pretty much require the Saints to take control of the division, which, for reasons I just went over, is pretty unlikely. So I don't know if this result means too much to us, but I don't think Washington. I don't think Washington's going to get involved in the wild card chase, although they do have talent. So don't completely count them out. It's possible this was actually a bad result for the Seahawks. If Washington is able to get things together and play up to their talent level in the second half of the season, but not a bad day for the Seahawks in terms of the early game results. The Vikings Chargers game just started. That's a game where we're obviously going to be rooting very hard for the Chargers in. So the sooner the Vikings get out of the playoff picture, obviously the better for the Seahawks. We can root for the Broncos to beat the Eagles. I think that's pretty obvious as well why we would want that. So the non-Seahawks games are going the way of the Seahawks right now. We just need to actually go win a game. We need to actually make it matter. We need to make this stuff count. It would be really deflating. And I understand we're underdogs in this game. I get that. But it would be really deflating to have 2 straight weeks of pretty much every result going our way, only to not make it matter because we can't pull an upset. We can't win a game. Now, as I said in my pregame video, with the way things are going in this conference, it is possible that 8-9 gets a wild card spot, but I don't want to make the playoffs like that. I really don't. I want to get a skin on the wall, and as I said, today's a great opportunity to get that skin on the wall. So, kickoff's going to be in just a couple minutes here, but I wanted to go over some last-minute game notes before we got there. So, all I can say is, if this team gets all these breaks that this team is getting over the last week or so, and we cannot take advantage of it, then that's a pretty sad commentary on where this team is right now, I think. I think that would be a pretty indicative of how lackluster this team is and how the product is simply not good enough. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. Game's going to start any minute now. Lions about to kick a field goal to try to win this one. Actually kind of pulling for him because I like Dan Campbell, but go watch that off camera. See you guys later. Go Hawks.